Hey, welcome everyone. I hope you're all well. Sorry for the slight late running and starting of this yoga class. You made it this far. You might as well hang around. It's only going to be 45 minutes of yoga here on another Thursday afternoon. Um, Find a really comfortable seat here. There'll be a little bit of preamble from me. There usually is. Talk to you about how fantastic yoga is and how fantastic you guys are. And I really do mean that. Every time that you make it onto your mat, that's a very powerful thing, because we could be doing all manner of things. And the beautiful thing about yoga is that we take little bits or we take the whole package. So if it's about energizing the body, we bring that into our practice. If it's about physicality and we want to have a good stretch and get more flexible and want to get stronger, we bring that in. If you want to raise your energy up, we've got a breath for that. If you want to bring your energy down, we've got a breath for that. So, this is about you and it's about your personal practice. I hate the idea that yoga should be, too prescriptive. So I like to keep it nice and varied. Probably the most important thing is that you just meet yourself where you are today on your mat. And even if you don't have a mat, you can do yoga without a mat. So don't let that become an excuse. And you can buy lots of cheap mats out there. But meet yourself where you are. And when I say that, I probably just mean not to push too far. So if you find that, your yoga practice becomes unenjoyable, I guess, you're not enjoying it, you're probably pushing it too far. If your breath gets choppy, you're probably pushing it a little bit too far. So meet yourself where you are today. Know through that regular, steady practice that your practice will change over time. We're always, we fear change, don't we, as humans? A lot of us do anyway. Change is difficult, but things are always moving in one direction. It goes backwards, it goes forwards. So know that things will change and you'll feel different every time you get onto your yoga mat. But probably most importantly is that you appreciate yourself fully. That self-love, which, it sounds a little bit corny, or it's a bit yoga-y, isn't it? Self-love. But honestly, it has to start here. It has to start here. So even if you don't believe it, then just kind of bring that intention in that, you fully appreciate yourself. It might be too far for you to love yourself today. But I will send my love your way. And hopefully you'll be able to send it back to me at some point. There you go. All right. So find a comfortable seat. As I say, in this first part of the class today, you can sit against a wall. I mean, that can feel really nice. You can sit on something like a cushion or a blanket. You can sit in a chair. We're going to do a little bit of meditation at this bit. So let me just make a couple of very small adjustments. I'm just going to come back a little bit so you can see how I'm sat. Here I am in my shorts in November. It's probably not shorts weather anymore, is it? And then bring the palms out. When I say that, you can always bring the hands down. You can bring the hands here. So whatever feels good to you. I'll probably have my palms down. I'll bring some length into the spine. And then soften the gaze or just close the eyes. Whatever's good for you. Some people don't like to close the eyes, and that's all good. So if you don't like to close the eyes, just soften the gaze down towards your feet. Length is in the spine. Relax the shoulders. Sometimes we bring length into the spine and then, the shoulders are a little bit like this, or they come a little bit around the ears. Relax them down the back. Have a little wriggle through the shoulders. Move one shoulder up, move one shoulder down, roll them back. Whatever feels good for you. Doesn't have to look a certain way. You just bring a little bit of movement into the body. Sometimes when we sit on the floor, we just want to move. So let's do that now. Move around, smile. Relax the face. Beautiful. Nice. From here, just sweep the arms up into the air. And then we'll do a little twist here. As you exhale, bring the left hand to the right knee. Right hand just comes behind. Press into your fingertips first of all. Inhale to find length. And then exhale, just twist over to the right. Inhale, find length. And then exhale into your twist. Be really gentle. It's the first physical asana that we're doing. The first physical posture. Asana is just your physical yoga practice. Inhaling, finding length. And as you exhale, try and twist from the lower, the mid, and the upper spine. Roll that right shoulder blade back. Engage here. And then as you inhale, come all the way back to center. Really, really gentle and simple. Inhale the arms up, find some length. Exhale, right hand, left knee. And then inhale to find length. Exhale into your twist. So you kind of twist on the axis of the spine. This right hand, you can place it on the knee, or you can just place it on the inner thigh. So you can be here, just encourages the thighs open. Inhale, length. Exhale, twist. Inhale, finding length. Exhale, back into your twist. Maybe roll that left shoulder blade back. No need to move the head too much. We're going to do that in a second. One more like that. Nice deep inhale. And then a full exhale, come back to center. Beautiful. This time, clasp the hands together, push the palms away. And then as you do that, round into the spine. So you kind of round into the spine and you sit backwards. As you inhale, raise up the chest. So now the palms are pointing up towards the ceiling. They're like this. All right. Inhale, round. And then exhale, come up. Inhale, round. Exhale, lengthen. A little bit of spinal flexing. Inhale to round. Exhale to lengthen. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Unclasp the hands. Float the hands down really slowly. Slowly, slowly, slowly. I'm a little bit tight for room here today. Bring the hands onto the knees. And then let's do this. So we're going to do some shoulder shrugs. We hold loads of tension in our shoulders. So we're going to just shrug them out. So we'll do two versions. All right, the first one's going to be like this. Inhale the shoulders up, exhale down. So inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. As you exhale, drop the shoulder blades down the back. And then carry on like this. See if you can do one at a time. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhale both shoulders up. Exhale through the mouth, bring them down. So you see that exhale is like a detoxifying exhale. Let's do this. Just uncross your shins and then bring the other shin in front and then have a little wriggle around here. Don't get uncomfortable. This part of the class I said you could do it sat on a chair. You do the twist on the chair. You can be sat, against a wall now for this one. Whatever feels good, or maybe just sitting directly on the floor. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to inhale the shoulders up, and then we're going to exhale with a yeah. So it's like a releasing yeah, Y-A-R, yeah. Doesn't really mean anything. It's just a releasing breath. All right, so keep an open mind when we do these little mantras, and it's just about moving energy, stuck energy out of the body. So inhale up through the nose, exhale through the mouth, yeah. Two more. Yeah. Inhale the shoulders up. Hold the breath here. So you just pause the breath here at the top. Shoulders are held up around the ears. And exhale through the mouth, bring them down. Beautiful. Nice. I'm going to come back onto my mat. I'm just going to turn the comments on here. So if you want to leave a comment, feel free. So come back onto your mat. And then let's bring the feet out just in front of us. This can feel good. So the feet are about hip width apart. Lean back into the hands and your fingers are pointing forward. And then just drop the knees down to the right-hand side. Feel this stretch into the left hip. Inhale back to center. And then exhale the knees over to the left. So you're just moving like that. Inhale to center. Exhale to the side. Inhale to center. Exhale to the other side. Doesn't matter if you're matching me or not. Always inhaling to center, always exhaling down. If the knees just come here, that's great. You don't have to move all the way down. You just match your body where it is today. Little windscreen wiper action, scissoring the legs from side to side. Really beautiful work. Nice. We're going to get a little bit more into the breath in this class. But first of all, we're just going to bring these nice simple movements in just to energize us, to open the body up. Inhale, bring the legs all the way back up. And then as you exhale, come back to that seated position. Make sure you're comfortable. Have a little move around. Nice lateral movement through the body now. We get tight into the side of the body, the ribs, the shoulders, maybe into the side of the hips. So this is a really lovely movement just to kind of like shift all of that. So bring the left hand down. Inhale, right arm over to the left. Exhale, left arm over to the right. Nice. So inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So just moving from side to side. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. Work with the breath. In and out through the nose if you can. Nice. Keep this going. Kind of like imagine that you're a little tree or a big tree. You're swaying the branches into the wind. You're pressing the sit bones down into the floor. You're feeling this stretch all the way up from right into the side of the hips, right up into the armpit. Lateral movement, working energetically with the breath. Couple more either side. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And then bring the hands all the way back to center. Whichever one was lifted, press the fingers now into the floor. So I'm right up on my fingertips. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, let it go through the mouth. One more like that. Deep inhale, breathe in all of that beautiful energy. Exhale anything you don't need. One more. Inhale, light. Exhale, darkness. Nice, everyone. Really nice work. Bring the hands onto the front shin. In fact, I can come a little bit closer to the camera here. So we're just going to work through the spine a little bit. Remember when we did, it was back care week a few weeks ago, we did some of these movements. So we're going to jump straight back into some of those. So bring the hands onto the front shin, just resting on this front shin, maybe the ankle. You inhale the chest forward, and then you exhale your round. Inhale forward, and then exhale round. I'll show you what it looks like from the side because a front view is not always the best view. So you'll see what happens. Inhale forward, exhale round. See how my back's round? Inhale forward, exhale round. It's not a big movement. You know, you can make it really small. You can make it slow. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So we just get into that, working with the breath, energizing the body, but moving the spine in this beautiful motion. Inhale, exhale. Anything going on with the spine, any tightness, any discomfort, just be very, very cautious here. Always taking care of the spine, especially the lumbar spine. So if you want to be here and you're just inhaling and exhaling very gently, that's great. Nice. Inhale, come forward. Lengthen the spine, bring the heart center through. Exhale, let it go. One more like that. Nice deep inhale. And then a full exhale. Nice. So we'll do something similar to that, but we'll bring in a little bit more movement. And the way we do that is we bring the hands onto the knees. Sit nice and tall again. You'll feel probably more of a flex through the upper and the mid spine here. Inhale forward, exhale round. So you can hear my breath is quite powerful. You know, the inhale and the exhale. Inhale, bring the heart center through. Exhale round the spine. Nice. Next time you inhale, come forward, lift the heart center, and exhale through the mouth. One more like that. Nice deep inhale. Full exhale. Beautiful work. Really nice. One more thing here. Hands back onto the knees. Sufi circles, or we just do these big circles. Inhale forward, exhale round. Inhale forward, and then exhale round. Get into it. Nice. Come back the other way. Still inhaling forward, exhaling round. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale through the mouth. One more like that. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Beautiful. Make any adjustments you need to. We're going to come into a little bit of breath practice. So remember with the breath, I was saying at the start of the class, there's a breath for everything that we need. In our yoga practice in general, we need to energize, we need to calm things down. There's probably a yoga practice for all of those things. When we breathe through the right nostril, we work into the sympathetic nervous system, which is kind of where our fight and flight is. This is kind of, we spend a lot of time here, and we probably need to be more in our parasympathetic nervous system, which is kind of where we're resting, we're digesting. But it's useful to do right nostril breathing when we're in a yoga class, because it really brings the energy up and it will energize us for the next section of the class. It's really simple, and it's a really nice breath to come to, especially in the mornings. If you think, I can't meditate, I haven't got enough time, do this for 5 minutes in the morning, every time you get up. So instead of walking straight to your phone or putting the kettle on, even those two things are quite important, especially putting the kettle on and having a cup of tea, a little bit of right nostril breathing will set you up even better for your day. So we'll do this. The right hand will just remain dormant. Just, you can have the palm up, and then bring the left hand up. And then it's up to you. I use the thumb, but you can block it off the left nostril with any of the fingers or a combination of fingers. And then what we'll do, in fact, I'm going to use these two middle fingers here just to block my thumb, my left nostril off. And then just sit nice and tall, relax the shoulders. Take a nice deep inhale through the right nostril. And then a full exhale through the right nostril. Maybe close the eyes, deep inhale. Full exhale. You're just trying to make the inhales and the exhales around the same length. And then 3 more complete rounds in your own time. And then at the third of that long exhale, just bring the left hand to meet the right. And try and do this. Bring the thumb and the forefinger together. This is called Gyan Mudra. Create this little energy seal and then just check in. Notice what you're noticing. It might be really, really subtle. It might be more than that. Breathe deeply. Two more complete rounds of breath. Beautiful. Really nice work. From here, we're going to come to stand on our mat. So I need to get back onto my mat. Hopefully you guys are somewhere near your mat. Come to stand. I just need to check that everything's going to work here. Okay, so I just need to move my camera very slightly, not that much. Nice. And then just come and standing at the top of your mat. We're just going to flow a little bit here. So bring your feet, so they're about hip width apart for this first one, lining up with the long edges of your mat. And then we'll work through these sun salutations, and let's see if we can, do this intuitively a little bit. So we'll run through 2 rounds where I cue you, and then let's see if we can do it just with little bits of cueing. I'll just cue the breath, and then let's see if we can do a round where I'm not cueing you at all. All right. So Sun Salutation A is probably the simplest one we do, and ones that we've done many times over this year. So standing from Tadasana, mountain pose, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. So come into your forward fold here. Keep a bend in the knees. You can be here. You can lengthen a little bit. On your next inhale, lengthen the spine and come up nice and high. Bring the hands just on the edge or the outside edge of your knees. Drop the belly down. And then as you exhale, drop the hands, step 1 foot back, step the other foot back. Nice deep inhale here, lengthens into your plank. And then as you exhale, lower all the way to the floor. Remember, you can drop the knees, but try and keep the elbows tucked by the side of the body. Take an inhale, come into your cobra pose. You don't have to have straight arms. You can be all the way down here, whatever feels good for you, but press the tops of the feet into the floor. As you exhale, come into your downward facing dog. Nice. Because it's the first one, we'll have a little walk around here. Bend into one knee, bend into the other. Whew. Walk it out. Let the head be nice and loose. Think about your hands right now and spread your fingers out. Press into the base and the knuckle of each finger. Nice. Find some stillness if you haven't already. From here, take a nice deep inhale. As this exhale just begins to diminish, look between the hands and then step to the top of your mat. So you might do it in a few steps, or you can just do it in one step and then the other. Take an inhale to lengthen the spine. Remember, we come up halfway, come up quite high, roll the shoulder blades back, little bend in the knees can help. Exhale to fold, and then inhale, come all the way up to stand. And then exhale, just bring the hands to heart center. And then just pause here, hands at heart center. Sun Salutation A. So that's with all of the cueing, a lot of words. Probably you want me to speak less. So let's just try and do this with the inhale and the exhale. All right. Really connect with the breath here. Remember, every movement has a breath. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 2 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Bend the knees, hinge the hips, look between the hands, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Nice, everyone. And I know you were all perfect with that. So sometimes, if the yoga teacher's always telling you to do this inhale, exhale, step back to plank, downward facing dog, lower to cobra, you know, we're not thinking about it intuitively in our minds. It just becomes like, oh, I can't do sun salutations. I can't remember them. So if we do them this way, you need to think about it a little bit more. And then it just becomes like something that you can build into your daily practice. So if you go, I've got no time to do yoga, I only do yoga, you know, if I come to a class, well, think about what we just did. Right nostril breathing for 5 minutes, 5 minutes of sun salutations. Then you can put the kettle on. There's 10 minutes of yoga. You could do that every day. You'll see an amazing amount of change in your lives. Just something as simple as that. So one more like that, just with the inhale and the exhale. Standing at the top of your mat, hands come to heart center. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Step to the top of your mat, nice and lightly. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Nice. Pause here. Hands at heart center. Really nice work. And then we'll do 2 complete rounds. You're going to do these on your own. No queuing. You can have a quick look at me, or I was going to say, look around. If I do this in a class, I usually say, if you get lost, number 1, don't worry about it. Number 2, make it up. Number 3, have a look around the class and see what everyone else is doing. You can have a little glance at me and see what I'm doing, but we can do this. So 2 rounds all on your own. Just listen to your breath. See how it sustains you. The breath drives all of the movement. The breath's the most important thing. The movements just come in straight after it. All right. So it's kind of like a simultaneous thing. Here we go. Once you finish that first round, if you haven't jumped into your second, take a couple of breaths. If you've jumped into your second, we'll all catch you up in a moment. Final round. Remember, every movement has a breath. Step to the top of your mat. Nice. And then just pause here, hands at heart center. Just let the breath come back to a nice steady rhythm. Beautiful. Nice. And then you can just release the hands down. Let's do a little balance. So just to reflect on those sun salutations, remember, you know, if you get into a nice little routine of doing them, it can be really powerful. And, you know, you can always watch all of these videos back. There's loads of sun salutations which you've done over the year, but also go online, check out other people, and, you know, you'll find different variations. And there are different variations, and some people like one more than the other. I like A because it's just really flowing. It's quite simple. And it really opens the body up, so it can be a great thing to do. All right, let's do tree pose. So come with the feet about hip width apart, have a little wriggle around, make sure any tension has been released from the body. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to work on stages here. So We're going to use the right leg first of all. So make sure there's loads and loads of intention through the left leg. Let's do this. Lift up the right leg. Nice. So you just lift the knee. Now already you might be like, whoa, you know, swaying around. You kind of like lose the balance a little bit. That's okay. You bring the hands on the hips. That can help balance you. What I find is just to find a gaze point. So look about 6 feet in front of you and then concentrate on just that one spot. Could be a fleck on the carpet or on your wooden floor, whatever feels good. See if you can bring the leg down and then place the sole of the foot just onto the left calf, not on the knee, not on the ankle, just a little bit higher, right on the calf, and then bring the hands to heart center. See if you can open the hip out. Nice. So engage into the left foot, open out the right knee. You don't have to go too far here. Looking at just at that gaze point. Relax the face. If you fall out, just come straight back in. The balancing is like it's a discipline. It's about doing this time and time again. You don't have to do it a lot, 2 or 3 times a day, and your balance really comes in. Nice. From here, see if you can lift the leg up just a little bit. Bring up the knee. Bring the leg down. Release the hands. Give the legs a shake out. And, you know, I'm a big fan of bringing yoga into everyday life. So you think, oh, you know, I'm not going to come and stand and do tree, Dave. But think about when you're putting your socks on in the morning. If you can, try and do it standing up. And if you can't, do it balancing on the end of the bed. But then see if you can progress to doing it standing up. You know, we're all at different stages of our physical body and our life. So you just meet your body where it is. But it's a really great way to find that nice balance when we're just doing our daily activities. Socks, always a good one. It's good for us standing up and doing it if we can. All right, let's do the other side. So lift up the left leg. Nice, you know, sway around a little bit, bring the hands onto the hips. If you fall out and you're like, your knees here, that's good. You can lift the knee a little bit higher. See if you can place it on the right calf. Find that connection. Nice. Bring the hands to heart center. Then just breathe here. Open out the left knee. Try and find that neutrality into the hips. Breathe really deeply. Gaze just at one spot. If you fall out, you know, you might come and bring the foot down like this. Just come straight back in. Nice. Beautiful. One more breath. Exhale. Bring the left leg back up. And then bring it down, give it a shake, release the mudra. The mudra is just a hand position. And when I say about a gaze point, the dristi is just a gaze point. It's a focus point to really help with the balance. So let's do one more. I'm going to walk forward a little bit. So this one, it kind of like opens out the shoulder, but also it enables us to kind of like move the gaze. So it becomes very tricky when we start moving the eyes. So this really tests our strength. It tests our balance. And it's a really good one to kind of like, once we start moving the body around when we're on one leg, this is a really nice prep pose. So again, we'll go right leg first. Do the same thing. Just the left leg, left foot, spread out through the toes. You feel that's intention in the left leg. Lift up the right. Here we go. Here's the knee. And then you can just clasp around the knee. So you give yourself a little bit of purchase around the knee. Nice. All right. Release the right hand. Keep the left hand here. Bring the right hand behind you so you stretch out through the arm. Feel the stretch into the shoulder. And then the idea is to move the gaze down the arm. So what I do is I'll find a point. I'm just looking at my plant now. I've got my balance. Now I've moved my gaze. I'm looking at my table on the other side of my room. I've moved my gaze. Now I'm looking at my oven. Nice. I'm wobbling a little bit. That's okay. Move my gaze. Now I'm looking all the way down my right arm and I can see my fingers. And if you've fallen out in any of that, that's cool. Just come back to center. Slowly bring it all back in. Hug around the knee and release it down. Nice. And you might feel that tension that builds up in the left leg. Just shake it out. You know, I always feel it around here. I feel it in my ankle. I feel it in my calves. So just shake it out. Shake the fingers out. Let out a big sigh. In fact, let's do that together. Nice deep inhale. Full exhale through the mouth. One more deep inhale. Full exhale. Spread out through the right toes. Find that intention through this right leg. So this is nice and strong. Lift up the left leg. Make that basket grip around the left leg. Really hug the left knee in. Nice. Couple of breaths here. So you're not crunching into the right toes. You're really trying to kind of flatten out through the right foot. Press into all four corners. And then release the left arm. Float it behind you. And then we'll do the same thing. All right, now I'm looking at my settee. Now I'm looking at the chair on the side. I'm wobbling a little bit, looking at my pictures of the chakras. I'm looking at my red cabinet. I'm still standing. If I fall out, I'm just coming straight back in. And now I'm looking all the way down that left arm. Nice. See if you can take a couple more breaths wherever you are. If you're falling out, come back in and meet us. And come all the way back to center. Nice. Hug the knee in. Release it down. Shake it out. Yes, everyone. Beautiful work. Really nice. Always nice to find that balance in. And it can build up a little bit of tension in the body as well. And so see if we can release that. Let's do this. Bring the right hand on the heart. Feet about hip width apart. Inhale, left arm to the left. Exhale, right arm to the right. You just swap over. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Poses like this, we don't think about them too much. We're just moving energy. We're just opening the body, a nice little stretch into the hips, a twist into the spine. We've moved the spine quite a bit so far in class. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Just begin to bring the hands a little bit lower. And then you might just bring the backs of the hands just to slap against your glutes, give you a little massage there in the back body. Nice. Twist it out. Bring that flow and that energy into the body. Release anything you don't need. Come back to center. Beautiful. Give everything a shake. Shake out the legs. Shake out the hands. Maybe have a little run on the spot. Beautiful. And then what we'll do is we're going to come to a seated position. Great work, everyone. Really nice. All right. So we're going to finish the class today with a little bit of pranayama or meditation. You know, breath. Pranayama is just breath work. It is a little bit of pranayama because we're going to use a rhythm of breath. So this is called 5-5-5 breath. We haven't done it a lot. It's really amazing breath, especially if you feel anxious, you know, if you feel overwhelmed. Come to this breath. It will serve you really well. And what we do is we inhale through the nose for 5. We pause the breath at the top for 5. We exhale through the nose for 5. And then we just continue with that cycle. Inhale 5, pause 5, exhale 5. And then we just do that. It kind of works with the regulation of the breath. So it sets up a really beautiful breathing pattern. And it's a go-to breath for me. You know, any time that, you know, I feel out of balance, anytime that I feel anxious or stressed, this breath always works. So what we do is we use a little mudra, a hand position. So bring the fingers together, thumbs touch, and then you just place this at the heart center. Bring the thumbs just away from the heart, and then your choice. You can close the eyes completely, or if you want to close the eyes 90%, just look down towards the tops of the fingers. And I'll talk you through this one. Relax the shoulders. All right, take a nice deep inhale through the nose for 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause the breath at the top for 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Pause the breath. Eyes are 90% closed, just looking down to the tops of the fingers. Exhale. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Inhale. Pause the breath. Exhale. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. And then just carry on in your own rhythm, just for a few rounds. Inhale 5, pause 5, exhale 5. Wherever you are in your round, just do one complete final round. And then you can release your hands, bring them down just onto the knees. Palms are face up. Just sit here just for a few moments. Maybe close the eyes. Notice what you're noticing. Let's take one more beautiful deep inhale together. Full exhale through the mouth, nice and slow, sigh it out. And then if your eyes were closed, gently just raise the gaze up. Nice, everyone. Beautiful work. Bring the hands to heart center. One final time, press the thumbs into the sternum. Sit nice and tall. And with a wholehearted bow, just wish yourself well. Wish everybody else well. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. Thanks so much for attending today, for coming along. Thank you for your kind comment, Anita. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, all of these videos, they are available on the Virtual Village Hall Royal Voluntary Service Facebook page. We are attached to, or I am attached to a yoga organization called Space to Breathe Collective, and you'll find us on Facebook. We are a yoga cooperative based in the sunny East Midlands in Leicester. So check us out if you haven't already. Really love to see you all. Take that energy with you. Amazing thing about turning up onto your mat today. Thank you, Sheena. Thank you for joining. And I will check you all out next week, guys. All right. Take care now. Namaste. Goodbye.